Hello guys, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be covering how to use my core utility library. This library is meant to make coding easier and faster by providing some utility functions that you may use in your code. To start off, we want to go to Community Content tab and search utililib, something like this, and you get this. You're going to click import. Then you drag the script you get into the scene. You can also have the docs here, and this explains everything, and we can look at these later. Start off, let's get some examples going. Let's create a new script for the sake of testing, and let's call this API Showcase. Now, first thing we want to do is copy this. We don't have to copy, we can just do logo. We can name this whatever we want. Let's say API equals _g dot global util_lib. Let's copy this. And then we can do something like API dot, let's see what functions we have. So let's do print API dot surround string. This could be, so as you can see here, we would do string and a string to surround with. As you can see, this is what we would put out. So let's do hello world, and we can surround it with quotation marks. Now if we go back into here, event log, actually we need to drag the script into the scene, go to event log and press play. As you can see, we now have quotation marks on the side of our string. We can also put other stuff in here like and it turns out that does something funky, I guess. So let's just do that. System relation, but as you can see, it works. And we can do whatever we want here, some spaces, and it's all gonna work. And let's look at some other things we can do. Let's do logo table equals 1. So let me just do integers, I guess. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And then we can do table equals API dot shuffle table. That simple is we can do shuffle table, shuffle table. And then for k, and we can just do for whatever. Let's do print. I think we just do print table. I'm not 100% sure. Let's do for v in pairs table view and send and print k v space here. As you can see, it's shuffled. We have 7. I think just do print v, can't we? You can see we now have it 6, 5, 4, 5, 7, and so on. It's pretty random. Shuffling table, pretty simple in one line of code. There's some other things you can do, such as maximum value. Take this out and local, which means print API.max table to me. API.max. Okay. Wait a minute. I think it returns like this. I have to do this, if I'm not mistaken. We can just do something like 3. Oh, I guess this means 1. So this is something I have to fix. So I'm gonna make this so it just puts it in as 1. it looks like, oh, I see, so you have the second in here as well. So it gives you the key of it, I see. I kind of forgot my own API works. Oh, okay, the docs. I'm assuming the min does the same thing. Let's do 1, and the first key would be 1 as well. Oh, well, pick that one for some reason. Anyways, we have the API.average. Of course, just to double check, we can look into the code. It just returns the number, so we don't have to put the table index here. And the average is 4.307. There we can put a math.floor on it. And we have 4. What else do we have? So let's do here. Let's do API.SERP, cosine interpolation between 1 and 10. And we'll be getting I think something's a bit wrong my code here. Oh, sorry, 1 comma 0.5 start. Do put how far to interpolate. It's basically cosine interpolation. So it's not gonna, it's the same thing. So put 0.5 is 5.5. So basically we have cosine interpolation. It gives us something like this. So we can put 0.5, might be here, 0.7 be here, and so on. Anyways, you can see if we do 0.5, because 0.5 is 0.6, it will give us 6.8, 0.7 will be 8.1, 8 will be 9.1, 2.9 would be, you can see it gets small, so it increased to 0.6 that time, and 1 would be 10. Like we do 0.95, it's going to get a lot smaller each time because that's how the cosine interpolation works. It doesn't start off too much, gets big gain here and slows down. And so what else do we have? We have the I guess we could do API.in range, another example. In range, so you can see num, low val, and high val. So 1, this would be the lowest value, this would be the highest, should be the other way around, right? This would be 0.95, and this should be 10. And it gives us 2. Let's up to 2. And it gives us false. Another one is that, let's say we have a cube. I'm going to go over some of the more advanced API functions that I have in here. Let's do local cube, parent. We're going to have to make this networked as well. One more thing I do want to talk about that will be causing errors if you don't do it. I'll explain a bit after I get this explained. So we can get rid of the table here. What I'm going to do is API.documentation lerp object color cube. Let's see what other ones we have in here. Cube color flip too. So let's do color dot new. It's color dot red. I'm pretty sure. Let me check the docs on Core to see how we can find color. Let's make sure. So I can do color dot. Oh, I can do that. So we can have the color dot red. We have the temp slopes. Let's do this 50 time in between loops. Let's do 0.01. This will mean it will be basically 100 times a second, but it will be slower if the person's frame rate is slower. So the max it can be is a person's frame rate, but if the person's frame rate is above 100 times a second, there is 100 times a second. Time in between loops, and then we have the loop amount per loop. So let's do 0.1. As you can see, it's gonna. I think I messed something up. Loop object color. Oh, this shouldn't be capitalized, I don't think. It was a bad view. Let's make this 0.01, for example. As you can see, it doesn't have time to complete, so let's make this 500. We now have a nice bright red cube. All in one line as well, as opposed to having to do irregular object color. Not that bad, but still a lot easier than having to do all of this. As for the position, and this is some vector math stuff as well. Normal to rotation takes normal cross product of the cross product of the forward vector to the cross product of normal. So it's this, and then so yeah, so the forward. Basically, the point of this is if you have a normal here doing raycast and you want to align the thing here, if you do raycast and get the impact normal and try to set the rotation to that, it won't be correct. So it actually use this function to give you the rotation and all that. Anyways, another one I guess I'm going to show off real quick. Oh, second thing I want to talk about. So let's say I create another context and put client context. Now if I do it, it's not going to work. So what I have to do is I also have to have the API and client context too. So I'm going to use functions of client context. Oops. Now it's going to work. Sorry. So another thing is that it has to be defined above, otherwise it doesn't get initialized until after the script has one. But if it's below other scripts, then this script is going first and say, oh hey, we don't have the API, it's new because it hasn't been defined yet because this script hasn't won yet. So honestly, way to get around this is you require, but it's a bit more complicated than just adding the underscore g dot w2lib. Although I may also add a require function allowed to be able to require it as well. It shouldn't be that hard if you have some coding experience, you can easily add it for your own version. And then as you can see now, it will be working. We can also do the typeout function as another quick example. So let's have a text box. Let's make this element, it's a text box, even better. Then we can do API.typeOut. Here's let's spell that correctly. API.typeOut text box. Then we have the string and time between letters. So let's do hello world. Take this 0.1 and run this real quick. You can see we have this down to be seen a bit better, but it's up to concept of like 60. You can see it works nice now. You can change the time between letters to, sorry, we wanted that high, but in case you do, you have that all in one line as well, as opposed to having to do not that much, but still a little bit. Of course, the rotate too, it's basically the kind of big thing. It's not working super well right now. Let me do it as an example in a minute. You can do API.rotate to text box. The other functions real quick. Rotation angle, let's do 90 and 1. And it works kind of nicely, and if we change this to 180. So the thing is, you don't give it a time to rotate, just give it the speed at which it rotates. Because I have no idea I'm supposed to do enough math to make it actually input time instead of speed, but it's not really that big of an issue. I don't think you would have it like 270. And of course, it's going to end up here. Or we can give it a speed of -1. So it just goes in the other direction. And you can do -10. and so on. You get the idea. And we can give it a super big rotation like 2700. But we'll still interpret it and say, oh, hey, that's going to be this is how much you go. Then they'll eventually end up at it. Eventually, it's going to take a long time though, so I'm not going to do it. Anyways, this concludes the video. I hope this helps you understand how to use the global utility library that I made, and I hope that it helps you speed up your code and all that. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. If you have any questions about how to use it, do join the Discord as I will be able to help you out there. Anyways, have a good day.